Last time I saw one of these, it was in my rearview mirror.
Oh, yeah, 81.
And getting smaller. They only had a top speed of like 115 miles an hour. Those are rookie numbers, son. Oh, there. Okay, here we go. So.
Yes.
So it's completely stripped. I see you got everything out of it.
We stripped the interior out. We've got your door panels and the front seats ready to get the upholstery work done, and I guess you have an appointment for that coming up, don't
Yep,
we?
next week, next Friday. So.
Did your car have a back seat?
I talked about this a little bit before.
Okay.
The back seat was completely removed. There was a panel crafted here, following the natural line here, and it went up, and it was a, what do you call this? It's particle board. It's about that much thickness.
Like the MDF, maybe?
I don't know if they called it MDF.
Hardboard?
I don't know what they call it. Forget the term for it. Regardless, it had an oval, an oblong shape cut out, and then a white satin finish panel that housed two image dynamic 10 or 12 inch woofers. I think there were 10s as I recall. And then, you know, the LED lighting, it wasn't even an LED, it was actual neon that went around the bloody
Oh, wow,
thing. Yeah,
real neon.
Yeah, and then it stepped up to the shelf. Up here, this is where the stereo system started. You had your two nitrous bottles, which are put in here, strategically placed so that the target top would still fit in the factory brackets.
Oh, I didn't know
The
that.
whole thing was built
Didn't
around
know.
that. Yeah, because
Yeah.
it still had the tabs in the back for the receptacle.
Sweet.
For the target top, so you could
Yeah.
drive it without without
Yeah.
having to leave the target at home.
Nice.
And then there was a stack here that was originally just a VCR and then a TV pod on top that was
Did
custom.
you just say VCR?
There was a stack here that was originally just a VCR. Listen, bitches.
As in a video cassette recorder?
They're making fun of my age. This is before DVD was in car. That was I would live through that when it was just going from, you know, VHS to DVD.
I know VHS and Beta.
Okay,
yeah,
well,
yeah.
You probably read about it or saw it in the museum. But
He's not too much younger, just a little younger than
good
you.
genes, bad genes. Anyway. But the movie that I used to play in the back of that thing was Top Gun, right? Until Fast and Furious came out. To get DVD, well, I actually had a PlayStation 1 hooked up to the front TV right there.
Did you?
Yeah, and then in the back, when PlayStation 2 came out, it had DVD capability. So then we made that stack taller, moved the TV up a little bit, and put a PlayStation 2 in there so we could run DVD. And then by that time, I was playing Fast and Furious DVD.
That's right on.
So all this got built out. God, it's so different.
Do you have pictures of all that?
I do. I have lots of pictures.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah,
Because I looked online and I couldn't find anything
I
like
have
from
a-
the front facing back. I could find all this view.
I have pictures of this stuff. They're not, remember cameras sucked back then.
Yeah.
They were the little, like 1 megapixel little point and shoot little stuff, right?
Yeah.
But I was there. I still have the drawings.
Oh, you do? Okay, sweet.
Sweet.
And the guy who built the system, Dwayne Ueda from Audio Options, is a friend of mine on Facebook. I'm going to have to be there, like mapping it out for him, especially
Pretty much.
the finish that we had in this tray. It's like fiberglass, like gel coat, right? Like what you would put on a boat kind of thing. But it was a satin finish, and when you ran your hand across it, it was like butter soft.
Oh, wow.
And there was no clear coat on it that I could see. It was just gel coat and sanded to a nice, smooth, supple finish.
Was it lit underneath?
Well, what happened was, let me see if I can map this out for you. Imagine this. You've got, this is the cover board, okay?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
And then you cut a hole in the cover board for the amp tray, okay?
Right.
And between that was sandwiched, between that and the bottom was a thick piece of perspex, like plexiglass that was probably 1/2 inch.
Got it.
Jeez.
Okay, and it went around, so it was probably cut like this. They cut it like this and left a hole in the middle, and then they put neon lights behind it so it came through this way.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow.
Okay,
That's cool.
So
Little
that's
fiber optic effect thing, like
I
hitting
guess,
it from
but
the
it
sides.
was just a soft, subtle glow.
Yeah.
It wasn't bright. You couldn't see any bulbs. It was very, very, very well done. For its time, it was pretty.
Did you have any lighting pointed at the NOS bottles?
No.
Okay.
This car never had neon lights except a couple of tubes I put in post-movie for showing at car shows on important nights kind of stuff, because we were doing that for sponsors.
Got it. I was going to ask you, did you have your factory seatbelts in your car still?
The factory seat belts were still in the car, but there were Sparco harnesses, the 3-inch black belts with the that had a fade blue logo on it. And I used the Sparcos every day. I didn't use the regular seat belts.
Okay.
This floor, when we built this, so the tray for the amps was here, right?
Right.
It's in this hole, okay? I do not remember what they did with this. I don't know if this was still here. I just don't know.
I would imagine it would be. It seems like it'd be a lot of work to cut that out.
Flatten it out, right? That'd be a lot of work.
Yeah.
I don't know. I could call Dwayne and ask him. But anyway, the amp, one amp was angled up like this, and the other two were angled like this.
Right.
And we'll have to refer to the pictures to get the angles right. But the tail will be mounting the target top to the tabs and there and having everything fit and snap in correctly. That'll be the tail. But so you had a board that was shaped like this, okay? And then it came forward here with a little angled top, like a little lid you pull off with a snap. You know how you put speaker grills on those old speakers? Like you had, it had those two of those tabs you pop in, and it was made out of vinyl. And inside that was a small marine gel cell battery.
Oh,
Oh, I thought that's where you kept your stash in the little hidden pockets.
My stash would be mocha frappuccino. I never did the drug stuff. I'm too busy spending money on cars and girls. You know, hookers are expensive, as it turns out.
even back then.
Well, they charge them by the pound, so it cost me a lot. Anyway, you get the battery right in there. And I don't remember what that was, so I'm going to have to talk to Dwayne about that. I was only marginally into stereo stuff at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, you needed multiple batteries back then. Yeah.
So, because I don't even remember if there was an option for a high voltage or a high output alternator back then. And that same LED light, I mean that neon light that we had around here, was around the speakers as well. The two 10-inch image dynamic speakers that were mounted
Right.
there.
I remember. Yep. I remember the pics.
Yes.
So the subs fired up or fired forward?
Fired up.
Fired up, okay.
Bass is non-directional, it just goes anywhere, as you know, and then mids and tweets go wherever they're pointed.
And the little box that held the VCR and the monitor, was that handmade?
Yeah, there's nobody.
And do you have the plans for that still?
Well, it's the plans, I can draw it up for you, but the specs will be predicated upon the width and the dimensions of the VCR.
And we have the
You got the
VCR
coming,
and the monitor.
And the monitor.
We already have the monitor.
Right.
I think
What
we
I
have
will have to draw, well, I have the drawing of the top of that thing because it was specially crafted. So it was, you got a pen somewhere?
Oh God, good luck in here. I don't know. I don't think I have a pen in here.
All right. Anyway, I have the drawings. I put my hands on them this weekend.
Well, that'll come in handy. So, you know, our next step moving forward from here is just, you know, you've been really great in getting all of these original gauges together. You and Alex, I know, have been working like crazy on that.
What's funny about it is now it's gone full circle because Dave Deshane, the guy who sent us his car, 2 summers ago, who was building a replica, calling me for all the parts and all that kind of stuff. Now we're calling him because he overbought some stuff, right? He has extra piece of parts, so we're getting stuff from him. So now, when we get down to the nitty gritty, we really have to decide, now that we know what's available and what's not available, is just how far we can deviate from the actual original car. For starters, I think you saw the comments on YouTube.
Yep,
People
we've been reading them,
were objecting to the fact that the car now had an engine bay that was orange when it was not orange. The thing about that is, as you pointed out, we never saw it in the movie.
Right.
There was a scene though when they were inside the engine bay, when there was no motor in it,
Right.
and Dominic was there and Paul was there. And as I recall, I know it wasn't orange. I know it wasn't orange. I don't know if it was red or black, because the car that we're supposed to be working on was a red car that came off the truck, but was actually a different car in real life. 2 different cars. That car and the car in the tow truck and the other car. And the other thing is that what people don't understand is that nobody thought this movie was going to take off, okay? So when I rented my car to Universal, I said, okay, you can paint it any color you want because you're going to pay to put it back the way it was before.
Yeah.
And I had every intention of putting the car back to yellow, which is why the rear speaker grills stayed yellow, and it's why the roll cage stayed yellow. And I think I've covered this, right?
Yeah.
But after the movie came out, I was doing paid appearances with the car and all that kind of stuff. Crazy. It was a big amount of money that I was getting paid to show this car around. The other thing was that I just didn't want to change very much about the car. I changed the headlights and the marker lights for the updated version, you know, S2s, and the same thing with the tail lights, so it doesn't look the same as it did in the movie.
So that was after the movie,
After
you did
the
the
movie,
lighting
and-
changes.
right,
Okay,
and-
that makes sense now.
Okay. And the other thing was magazines started shooting it after the movie had already been in production. But between that period of summer 2000 and summer 2001 when it came out, the car had been shot for like 15 different magazines all over the world. I have a whole rack of those things. So I just wanted to change it the way I want. If I was going to do this and drive this bloody thing around with the nuclear gladiator on the side of the car, I at least wanted the good stuff. And again, I had the intention of painting it back to yellow when I was done. Didn't work out that way. I decided to sell the car. It's a whole different story. So that's just the way the car lived. So what do? Do we do the speaker panels in yellow and back? I'm inclined to say that
I say we do. That scene where Brian and Don were looking in the engine bay.
They were sitting in the engine bay.
Yeah, they were kind of sitting in the engine bay. I want to say it was red. I want to say it was that dark red, but now you got me thinking.
We're gonna go watch
it. But you couldn't see the actual.
But it wasn't orange. That's for damn sure. It
definitely wasn't orange.
Definitely wasn't orange.
But again, you never saw the end product. You never saw the car sitting there with a turbo and a 2J sitting in it. You just never saw it.
And that's a continuity thing. So it doesn't matter to the script, so they didn't show it.
Understood.
Right, and it was never orange anyway. So
you talked about it, and what got me to say, let's just do it orange, is because, when we build a car like this, if this were my personal car, it'd be orange.
Exactly. If I had kept the car and kept it as a movie car, the motor absolutely was going to come out of the car, right? Yeah. And then this thing would have been painted orange. Yeah. And back then, nobody would give two shits about it, right? No. They don't care if it's orange or blacked out. But now trying to be really accurate. I mean, if you take a look at some of the DeLoreans that have been built from Back to the Future, these supposedly replica cars, they're way off. I mean, they're way off.
Yeah, I see it all the time.
But so how much accuracy do you have before it's a replica? There's other things. Remember we were talking about Yokohama tires, AVS tires, Yokohama AVS. S tires back in the days, they had a very distinct V-shaped pattern.
They don't exist.
They don't exist. We actually spoke to Yokohama directly, right? Yeah. So, and they said they don't make that tire anymore. So what do? I'm pretty sure my original hero car in the Netherlands is still riding on those tires.
Oh dear.
So, which makes me very scared because they're 20 years old, and let us not forget that the Paul Walker answer was partially attributable to having cold tires and old tires. Yep. Yeah. So we can't get that tire. We can get the same sizes. We have the same wheels, and we're going to build them the same. We're going to change the wheel offsets to the right spec, so that'll be right. But what about the brakes? They don't make the AP Stillen caliper. AP brakes are everywhere. You can still get them in black, but what you can't get is the AP Stillen version, which has a trough, an embossed trough on the caliper where a little metal sticker goes in. It's made from metal. It's like a badge you would stick on the side of a car, and it says 6 and Stillen. Yep. Okay? That's what it says. Yeah. They don't make those calipers anymore. I've been looking. Dave Duchesne looked for 5 years to find a set. And the first set he put on the car wasn't the right one. It was close.
It was close.
It was very close. 99% of people would not know, but it's not the exact one. It's actually better, but it's not the same one. Right. So what do? Drive a car around with no brakes? Yeah. I mean, you can't make it 100%.
And those brakes you just talked of, we now own them.
Yeah.
Those are the brakes that are going to be going on this car.
The ones that are 99% there. Yeah.
And they look the part. We're going to clean them up and paint them and make them
the proper color. It's more like that color. You know what? I don't have to tell you.
Make them look brand new again.
Yeah.
But it's
there's a lot of considerations. There truly is.
And there's a lot of other things as well. We talked about this ad nauseum, but the original car was running on a bunch of HKS piggyback devices, right? You got the GCC graphic control computer, you got a VPZ vein pressure converter, the IPM injection something program management or something like that, and then there was another box. So there's 1, 2, 3 different boxes on here, plus an FCON.
So I mean, visually, it's going to look very, very much like the movie car. It's going to really take you to dissect the two images, still images of the scene used car compared to this car. I think it's going to be really hard to tell them apart.
Yeah, and again, there's certain things that compromises that I have to make in my own head. Right. I really don't want to drive around the Supra with the shitty chrome headlights on it. Yeah. But that's what was on the car when it was in the movie. But you guys have the good ones.
That was a challenge, because the ones that we have and the ones that we found, the US spec ones, the chrome bezel ones, they've been discontinued for years. Yeah. And the ones that are available used are junk.
Yeah, they're worse than the conditions of these.
And nobody wants to reconditioning because you're putting new chrome on old plastic inside of a bezel that's going to get super hot because it's basically an oven, right?
Right.
Yeah,
and
it's an oven in
the
there.
Sun,
yeah.
UV protection and all of that.
So it's like, our plan B is the Euro specs. You can still buy them new. There's a few pair left floating around. Only difference, has a glass lens. You know what? But that's that 99% thing.
Well, and then you put, you know, that clear tape over it, that clear protector film over it, right, to help knock down the UV and prevent rock chips, because that thing will get foobarred quickly driving that car. Big time. Right. And people say, well, it's not accurate because it's got this on it and it doesn't, but it looks the same, but it's not exactly accurate.
Right.
So there's just a lot of things you're not going to be able to get anymore. I mean, Dave Jesko, who helped with the build originally, who came to your shop.
Got it. Oh, yeah, right.
Remember when we're looking at Dave's car?
Yep.
He's been working for Toyota for 25 years. Yeah. He has the master parts system globally at his fingertips, okay?
He can tell us what's available?
He can tell us what's available.
Around the world?
Around the world, anywhere
That's a
in the
sweet
world.
connection.
Okay?
Yeah.
So, and he's a good friend of mine. I've known the guy a very, very, very long time, and he's a smart guy. I mean, he keeps texting me random thoughts from the highway. Hey, if you want this, I can get this, but you're probably going to want this because there's none of these parts left, but I can find you one. It's in Guadalajara, or it's in Tibet, right? Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if we need rare Toyota parts, we can probably get them if they're still floating around and still exist. Yeah. But there's a lot of people who are just sitting on inventory. They're not doing shit with it.
Well, I think we mentioned to you, we were successful in getting quarter windows new, all the rubber trim that makes up the entire cabin.
You got this stuff?
Yep.
Brand new.
You got this stuff?
Brand new.
Yep.
This stuff?
Brand
yes,
new.
sir.
Did it arrive yet?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people don't believe that you have any of that.
Brand new, we got them all.
I think a lot of people are going to want to see that. Because
no, we got it brand new in the Toyota boxes. We were excited about that.
I believe you, but I think there's skeptics on the internet.
We also got the rubber surround for the back hatch window too. So just to kind of recap on the lights, so just so you know, we do have the brand spanking new later model headlights.
Yeah, and taillights.
And taillights. Mm-hmm. And it's funny because there was some, I remember we got called out on a few guys saying that, you know, originally when we talked about how the car sat on the movie, it had the black, you said it had the black tail lights on it, or the gray tail lights, I think is what you said originally, right?
Yeah.
I probably did.
And then what happened?
We went online and we did an image search of the movie, you know, fan websites, and they were
You should go to my website, fastandfuriousfacts.com.
black bezel tail lights.
I like to think that put that website up for some.
We got lucky and we found a set of pearl used ones. I mean,
that's my fault completely, and here's why. The period of time from when I got the car back, I got that car back in probably September of 2000. Okay, we were done filming late September-ish, maybe October, and immediately I set about starting changing stuff. Like I said, the headlights, the side markers, all that kind of stuff. I think I changed the seats out at one point.
You did?
I did. I had these big high shelled Sparco seats. I have pictures of the car with that. So this racing bucket kind of thing. Yeah. The roll cage got chromed instead of the yellow.
Right.
There's a bunch of other small changes that I made, but it happened so fast because right after that I was going to shows. It was being rented from movie theaters and showrooms, and then it was going to magazines. People came over here from the Max Power people came to Southern California and stayed at my house for a week.
Oh, no way.
And they shot a DVD called Max Power Way Out West, which I just downloaded. They have the original files on the internet today.
Nice.
So there's a feature of all the movie cars on that DVD, but it's now also available for download. Anyway, so a lot of stuff got changed very quickly in rapid succession. And then all the pictures that you see in the different magazines, I even found going through my magazines that there were pictures of the car when it was in this condition and it had this equipment, and then a month later, the next issue had the car with some other stuff, like the different seats and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, got it.
So a lot of
Well,
stuff.
I mean, that's just the way it goes. I mean, you know, like you said from the very beginning, who would have ever thought this was going to be as huge as it become, you know, this franchise?
We didn't.
And, but what's nice is that we're going to be able to provide you with both sets of taillights and headlights.
I think it's cool that you still had the bug even after the movie was becoming a success, right? You still wanted to make the car yours. You know, I'm changing the headlights, I'm changing the markers, I'm changing this.
Because I was stupid. Because no, really, honestly, you don't. Daryl will tell you, he's been doing this a long time. You don't change a movie car. You put it in a time capsule and hope that'll be worth some money someday. You don't bloody change it.
Well,
it
was worth some money for you.
Well, it was worth some money, but that car today.
What's that car today?
Well, the stunt car that got reused
Right.
for Too Fast, Too Furious, which was an automatic non-turbo car, but
Right.
a T-top, and it didn't have any of the, it wasn't even a replica,
No,
really.
no, it wasn't.
But it was a screen used car.
Right.
Yeah.
It wasn't good enough to be a replica, but it was a screen used car, so
Yeah.
that car sold for exactly what I predicted. I probably said that car is going to go for $550.
You did. You hit it right on the head. And then, so that makes your
And I
car.
guessed.
That's got to make your car 1.5, your original car, minimum.
The story I heard is that the guy who owns the car had turned down offers of 1.5 as recently as 2017.
Yeah, what wouldn't surprise me. I know the Fast and 4, my old Bayside Blue car, Skyline GTR, the one that in the 4th installment,
Peter's car?
Peter's car, he's turned down 1.5 on that car.
Yeah, that's a 7-figure car now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who would have known? Right?
I don't know. There's only one other Supra on the West Coast. It belongs to Hollywood Supra on Instagram. You got to check him out. His name is Juan Kozakart. Nice guy. I'd be curious to think to see what people think about that particular car. I mean, it's not really a replica to some people, and it's a tribute to some people. But
Why
if
not?
you
What makes
well,
it different?
there's just little differences. Like he had like chrome windshield wipers. He had an A pillar with 3 gauges over here, 3 over there. The valve cover was painted candy orange.
Got it.
The cam cover is painted candy orange.
Yeah.
It's just got a bunch of differences. The car's jacked up in the back for whatever reason. I think it was.
So this wasn't a screen car.
No,
no,
this
no,
was
no,
just
no.
this is just
Okay,
a
okay.
But what's
replica.
funny is
Just
he and
like
I
a
got to
well
be
done.
friends. The first time I saw that car was like 2006, and it was driving in on Pacific Coast Highway in Laguna Beach. And I was like, holy shit, somebody built a replica? I lost $20 on that bet. Because RJ DeVera, who was the other technical advisor, people keep forgetting that RJ was a technical advisor too.
Yeah.
We used to say, oh my God, these graphics are so bloody ugly, at least we know nobody's ever going to copy them.
Oh my God. How many sets do you think have been made of those?
I had RJ in my studio about 1.5 years ago, and we were laughing about that.
That's funny.
I've learned that if you put anything on film or
Yeah.
attach it to a celebrity, no matter how ridiculous it is,
Yep.
it's cool.
Yeah.
And
It
so
is.
this is what makes the Hollywood producers way smarter than I am.
Yeah. Well, and
Because
it's
they
funny
know that.
because there's a set of collectors that aren't into cars that are just into the aspect of it being a movie artifact.
George Barris, I'm releasing a video tomorrow about how George Barris almost bought my car.
Oh, no way.
Tried to buy this car. He did buy 2 of the cars, as a matter of fact.
What would he have done with it, you think?
I know what he would have done with it because it says it in my video.
Duck it away?
No. I know exactly what he would do with it because he took a bunch of wire loom from the Home Depot aisle.
I know what you're talking
Okay,
about.
started zip tying to shit. He went out and bought these, those fake carbon fiber gauge pods that are supposed to go here.
Yeah.
He glued them to the top of the dash, right, and put fake gauges in there. Then he took a wall switch that you use to press buttons, a cover plate that you put on a switch box. He screwed it to the dash, and why those red wire caps that you tie wires together, electrical wires, put 6 of those sticking out. I'm like, what in the wide world of redneck bullshit, Mickey Mouse rigging shit did this guy just do? Okay, and I have the pictures I'm going to show in the video tomorrow. Going to
Oh, I can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
It'll be cool.
But yeah, he wanted to buy the car after it was on eBay, and the bidding went up to almost 180 grand, and then he wanted to buy it for 40 grand. I already had a buyer in Europe.
Wait, did you put yours on eBay?
I did.
I didn't know that.
But there was a bunch of fraudulent bidders.
Yeah, okay. Okay. What do you think of the engine bay? What do you think of that
Well,
color?
I think it's great. Now, I understand you guys have a video. All the stuff that you've done in here, stripping all this shit down, prepping the surface and all that stuff, everybody can find that video on your channel, Just Driven, right?
Right,
Okay.
that's right.
Mm-hmm. Where are all the tabs and fasteners?
We have everything.
Yeah.
We've got everything boxed, and we're going to replace and get whatever we don't. I even started researching new decals for the sun visors, so I'm going to replace everything on this car. And again, this car is going to get painted, Craig, with the doors off, and the doors will be hung in the booth, so there won't be any paint line going from the outer quarter to the inside door jamb.
That's cool. That's good stuff.
We move forward, and I'm super anxious. So you heard about the hang up with the body kit, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's heard about the backlog of ships lined up in Long Beach. Supposedly, am I right? One of our body kits is sitting on a boat in a container that may have been sent back. what we've got is you were able to put us in touch with the gentleman.
Yeah, I took your advice. I said try to see to find the guy on your YouTube channel because he posted a comment.
Right.
So he had a picture of himself as his avatar.
Right. Yes.
And it said, and he had his real name, right? And so I looked this guy up on Facebook. I found him in like 10 seconds, and then I DM'd him, and he, like 20 minutes later says, "Oh yeah, I got an extra one. Hang on, I'll go take some pictures."
Right. Yep.
And so he literally went out into his little warehouse and started. He's in North Carolina. He's taking pictures. Here they are. Here's the authenticity stamp on the thing.
Isn't that awesome?
I said, "Yeah, we'll take it. How much do you want for it?"
Yeah. And so we bought it. We bought it,
And
right?
so now he's boxing it up and he's shipping it out to us. He's gonna ship.
Power of social media. That's awesome.
Right?
So what we're looking for right now is we need 4 gauges from Gretty. We have 60 millimeter. We have a boost. We need a boost gauge. We need an EGT gauge. I think we have the EGT coming, right? It was on one of the builds.
I'd have to check with Alex.
Okay, I think EGT picked that up. We need an oil pressure gauge, and we have the boost gauge already, don't we?
We have the boost gauge.
Okay, so boost. So there's only 4 total. 2 on the A-pillar. I'll show you where those goes, by the way.
I know we have the NOS brackets.
Okay,
the
that's
bottle
good.
brackets. We have those.
So one goes here, right below this dimmer console dimmer switch. It goes right in there.
Okay.
And the other one goes right up there where the clock was.
Okay.
So
I can't remember, in the movie, did they ever show the instrumentation of the car shifting gears?
I don't think so. I mean, it's like watching home movies. Every time it comes on now, I go, oh no, I can't watch this.
I know, same here. I get that way too. But
I just can't watch it
I
anymore.
find myself doing it a lot lately just for the, what I've done is I've screen grabbed all of the scenes with the car being used in it just to see what I can
There's
capture.
a 4K version online now too.
I think I've seen that one.
Can you clarify something?
Yeah.
Tachometer, right? Big old autometer, right? Tachometer has an integrated shift light. And then there were 2 additional shift lights for a total of 3 shift lights.
There was a yellow one attached to the autometer tach, as you probably know, and there are 2 red lights. One was nitrous activation, tell me that the system was armed.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay. We need to clarify that so we know how to wire them up.
That's important. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when the switch was armed, I had 2 switches. One was in the glove box to turn the bottle on, and the other one was hooked to a micro throttle switch, but it also had it had to be full throttle, and you had to hold the blue button down. The blue button was attached. There was a kit that nitrous oxide used to sell, and you could put the button. It was a loose button. You can put it anywhere. You could zip tie it to something. It could go around the steering wheel, so when you're going around, no matter, you don't have to take it off. And then you just hit that button. That's the way it was activated.
Okay.
So.
Nice. Well,
Far
we'll do the
different-
same thing. We can do the same thing. This is going to be functional. NOS is going to be functional on it. So,
I mean, that's easy to do. Yeah, why
no,
not?
I mean, what's the point of putting it in there
Yeah.
and not having it hooked up? It just makes sense. The next step is the body guys are going to start spending a lot of time just perfecting the body. They don't want to really jump on it until the body kit's on the ground.
Sure, makes perfect sense.
There's going to be a lot of making that body kit beautifully.
Let me ask you a couple of questions here. While we have this thing apart,
Yep.
what are we doing to clean up this stuff?
We're going to pull the subframe's going to come off in its entirety.
This is just on so it's a roller.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We just reinstalled it.
We're going
so
to
it's
clean
a
it up,
roller.
put it back in?
We're going to clean it up. We're going to send the rack out. Although Alex says the rack and pinion is really nice and tight, but I'm going to send it to our guy that does our rack rebuilds. We have all new bushings ordered. Everything, every bushing in this thing is going to be brand new. And then we're going to clean up all the filler holes and whatnot. Everything that needs to be touched up paint-wise.
One of the shows I watch is, what's the one with Mike Brewster, the guy, Wheeler Dealers.
Wheeler Dealers. Love that show.
I love that show. I watch
too.
it all the time. One thing a pet peeve of mine is every time they take a car apart, they don't clean that shit up.
I know.
I mean, can you get a bloody wire brush and some freaking simple green on the bloody
That's my
thing?
pet peeve too. No, that's all going to be addressed. We're going to the wiring loom's going to be cleaned up. Everything's going to look. This thing's going to look phenomenal. when
Yeah,
it's
it'll
all
look
done.
new again.
We were just so impressed. James and I couldn't get over it when we were prepping this engine bay. This thing has never been whacked. It's never taken a hit. The frame rails are super straight.
Yeah,
on this
dude, we got lucky. This is a straight car.
I've seen so many of
No
these
evidence
things.
of an accident.
Yeah.
Crash.
I've seen so many that have been bent and tweaked. This car is going to go really nice down the road. Hopefully we're going to have the body kit coming here in the next few weeks. The parts are coming in. We're going to have our brakes, so then we could pre-fit the brakes. We rehang the fenders, pre-fit the brakes. And
Get the wheel offsets right.
Get the wheel
barrels,
offsets right. Send the wheels out and have
We
them
want those
rebarreled.
things to be right on point, man, and then
Yeah.
You know, with that body kit though, it's going to be a bitch because it's not even a full over fender, so it only sticks out at the lower portion of the fender.
I know, I
so
saw
when you
that.
shoot it from this angle, front and rear,
It looks weird.
It looks like the tire is tucked under the fender like 1.5 inches, but that's not the case.
It's like a mud flap.
It's just the
Yeah,
way it
yeah.
is. It's a really weird effect. Yeah, I know. Not much we can do about that, but it is what it is.
I mean, if I had it to do today, I should probably make a video about that. How would I have done that car today?
Yeah.
But honestly, I don't know because so much.
That would be a great video, actually.
Yeah, but.
You know, our two channels are building this car. This is a collaboration between both of us. Craig and I being friends, we bought this car together as a partner. We're just doing this to showcase, you know, what's involved in building a replica car. And so I wanted to clarify that because there was a lot of people asking us, and we were getting hit up by a lot of clients asking
Such
if we'd be
an
interested
interesting topic.
in building another one. And right now, we've got so many builds in the queue. I'm a police car collector guy. I love classic. I've got about 9 or 10 different variety of cop cars, and I restore them back to original, authentic condition. And it takes so much work and effort. I can't imagine doing it. I mean, it would be easier, I will say, because you know,
You're out of parts.
we're doing
We're
legwork,
using
but
lots
that's
of-
the problem.
That's the
We have to make stuff from scratch, and I'm not the young man I used to be. I don't know how many more of these I can do. So we're going to do this, have a lot of fun with it, and so I wanted to clarify that.
The good news is that this car is going to go around the shows. We're going to share this car with people.
Yeah.
So it's not the same movie car, but hopefully, you know, the spirit of what the movie car was is all going into this because of this collaboration, and we're going to try and reproduce it as faithfully as we can. So forgive us if it's not 100%, but we're going to get as close as we can to it.
Absolutely.
So it should be fun.
So
and
far, we're
I'll
excited.
be giving rides.
Yeah, there you go.
If we could get you in this car with some sticky tires on the back, taking it down Irwindale, quarter mile.
Oh yeah.
That'd be fun.
No, I'm serious. Would that be cool?
That'd be
Have
fun.
Craig in the
No.
driver's seat
Yeah.
when I was ripping through gears?
When I was in race wars of Germany a couple years ago, I was driving this guy Benji's car. He had an automatic stock twin turbo, and then the guy pulled up next to him in a Charger, a built Charger.
Oh, 68?
Yeah, but I'm an old drag race guy. This dude, I leave on the second yellow, right?
Yeah, right.
I deep stage, right? And on a Supra, especially an automatic, and I get it up on the revs, so I'm power brake, and I heated the tires, you know, and I'll pull up to the line. Got a deep stage on the guy and the lights. I leave on the second yellow. He moved, I would cut a 0.002 light, and he cut a 2.63. Not 0.263, 2 second, 2.63 seconds.
You fell asleep?
I don't know what he was doing, man,
That's
but
funny.
it made the Supra look really, really fast, and my French friend Benji he was just screaming something in French, which I interpreted to mean he was very, very happy, and he thinks his car is actually fast, when actually the other car probably would have smoked him if he knew it. That's funny. But yeah, it's going to be fun to do drag racing stuff again.
Well, you know, we wanted, I was looking, when we decided we were going to do this, I started shopping for a 70 Charger. I wanted to build a black 70 Charger because I've got a 68.
Yeah.
I have a 70 Roadrunner up here on the rack that we're doing an SRT8 drivetrain in. And I thought, oh man, it would be so cool to do an old school 70 Charger with the blower through the hood.
Whoa. If we're going to do that, we're not going to do that shit on Irwindale. But we should do it at Irwindale just to see that the Supra of that day would probably not run with a 900 horsepower Charger at all.
Oh.
The reality, because
I got you.
The other one is we need to go down to San Pedro where we filmed.
We got to do that.
That's right at the intersection of Tuna Street, okay? And I know exactly where it was. I was there a year ago. Nice. And pull up the two cars up there on a Sunday.
Yeah. So guys, if anybody out there have a 70 Charger, nice body, not rusty, I don't care what motor, doesn't even have to have a drivetrain in it, hit me up. I might pull the trigger on that because that would be fun to build.
And if you give us a good deal, we'll let you be there when we film the episode.
That would be a kick. Yeah, man. So so on to the next. We'll just keep going. And can you think of anything else?
That's it. Follow Just Driven, follow my channel, and
absolutely.
make sure if you have questions, don't be afraid to make comments below. And last but not least, don't forget to subscribe to both channels.
If you have comments, let us know. We'd love to hear from you. And we're just going to keep showing everything we do. And it's going to be a little tricky because Craig's got a lot on his plate. We have lots of builds going on our plate. So what we're going to do is we're going to be peppering in smaller videos on the details of everything we're doing, and I don't know that Craig will be here for all of that.
The big stuff.
The big stuff, he's going to be coming in, and when we do the engine drop and all that stuff,
I got to be there for that.
Setting all that up. But
I don't have enough scars on my hand.
well, we'll get one on that hand to match.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
That's what I'm doing.
So thanks, guys. More to follow. Thanks for following.